Good morning, students. We were doing this story, a gorilla in the guest room, and yesterday we completed the first paragraph of page 74. So we have to start from here. That is, how much are you asking for it? So, as we know, there was a conversation between the animal dealer and Mr. Durrell, right? The animal dealer wanted to sell his baby gorilla, but the narrator was not sure whether what the animal dealer is calling or is considering to be a gorilla is actually a gorilla. Why? Because he was skeptical about the knowledge possessed by these animal dealers, right? He has mentioned that they were, with difficulty, they were able to distinguish between a bird, reptile, and a mammal. So he was not very sure of his zoological knowledge, and so he was skeptical. He was not very sure whether once he reaches the place, he will be able to find a gorilla. He was expecting a chimpanzee also, and so, but still, he didn't want to take a chance, right? And so he decided to go and at least have a look. So he asked the animal dealer about the price of that gorilla which he was talking about. How much are you asking for it? I inquired, and took a firm grip on the telephone, right? So holding the telephone tightly, expecting the amount to be reasonable, he asked, how much are you asking for it? Means how much am I supposed to pay for that baby gorilla? 1,200 pounds, said the dealer. So the dealer said that you will have to pay 1,200 pounds for the gorilla. A brief vision of my bank manager's face floated before my eyes, and I repressed its turn. Repress means to suppress something, right? To stop something from remembering, right? Once a thought goes on entering your head continuously and you try to avoid it, that is repressing a thought. So very strictly he was trying to repress the thought, because the moment the animal dealer uttered these words, 1,200 pounds, the face which came into Mr. Durrell's head was of his bank manager. Though he was trying to avoid this thought, avoid this vision of the bank manager. All right, I said, in what I hoped was a confident tone. So as confidently as was possible for him, he said, okay, all right, I agree to the price and I'm ready to buy that baby gorilla from you. I'll meet it at the London airport, and if it's in good condition, I will have it. If it's a healthy baby gorilla, then I will buy it. I will see it at the London airport, and then we can fix the deal. I put down the telephone to find Jackie regarding me with the basilisk eye. What is a basilisk eye? It's a creature, right? Like a snake. You must have seen in these fairy tales, there is a snake, right, which kills with its eyes, some fire-like thing coming out from the eyes, right, has the ability to kill people with his eyes, right? Once that snake looks at someone, some fiery thing comes out of his eyes and he is able to kill, or by breathing at them. At times it breathes and it kills. So it's a snake-like structure. Sorry, a snake-like creature. Normally it's a mythological creature. So he said to find Jackie regarding me with a basilisk eye, right? So Jackie was perhaps his wife, and so she was looking at him with that strange expression in her eyes, right? Ready to kill, that killing expression in her eyes. She was standing there. What are you going to have? She inquired. And the moment he disconnected the call, the moment he hung up, she inquired, what are you planning to have now? A baby gorilla. I said nonchalantly. So nonchalantly means in a very relaxed manner, though he understood, though the narrator understood her feelings, her emotions, her anger, right? The anger which she had in her eyes, right? That murderous glare in her eyes, he understood, but still, as if nothing has happened, in a very calm manner, in a very relaxed manner, he answered, a baby gorilla. I'm planning to have a baby gorilla. Oh, how lovely, said mother enthusiastically. They are such dear little things. But mother was very happy, right? So mother was very excited that now there'll be a baby gorilla, and so she was very happy about it. And he said that they are such wonderful dear things, and it's good to have them. Jackie was more practical, but Jackie's wife was more practical, and she wanted to know the price. She said, "How much?" she asked. As a matter of fact, it's very reasonable. The narrator didn't want to add fuel to the fire, and so he was behaving in a very calm manner. He said, it is very reasonable. It's not very expensive. Price offered for that gorilla is a reasonable one. You know how rare gorillas are, and you know that our policy now is to concentrate on the rare thing. So see, what he is trying to do is to convince her, right? Because as it is, she doesn't seem to be in too much agreement with this idea of having a baby gorilla. Maybe from this conversation, from this entire conversation between the narrator and the animal dealer and the expression of his wife, the way his wife is talking, we come to know about one particular fact. What is it? Who can tell you? What do we come to know about the financial condition of the narrator? Yes, Tanisha.
Ma'am, this shows that the narrator was not financially very strong.
Yes. This shows that his financial condition is not very good, right? That is why the moment he was discussing the price, when he was discussing the price of the gorilla with the animal dealer, what happened? The image of the bank manager started flashing in his head. Means he must have already taken a lot of loan from the bank. Then only the image of a bank manager will flash in your head, right? So why was he thinking about the bank manager? Because if he'll go for another loan, the bank manager will definitely not agree to it. So, and then the expression of Jackie. This also made it very clear and obvious that they were not having a lot of money, right, to afford another animal, an animal, a rare animal like gorilla, right, which obviously will not be so cheap. So Jackie was more practical, and because his wife Jackie was more practical, so she wanted to know the price. And but what is the narrator doing? He is trying to convince her, right? He's trying to tell the positive points, stress more on the positive points of having a gorilla, right? This is what he is doing. How rare gorillas are, and to know that our policy is now to concentrate on the rare things. So why is he talking about these things? Because he wants his wife to agree, right? It's a way of convincing and persuading his wife to agree to his idea of going for this baby gorilla, right? Because she is very annoyed. She seems to be very annoyed from the way she is talking, right? From these words like baseless sky and the way she is talking, right? Not in with the minimum usage of words and stern expression on her face. So these things make it obvious that she is not very happy, and she is not ready to accept this idea of the narrator of spending so much money in buying a gorilla. But then what is the narrator doing? He's trying to tell his wife and convince her to his plans, right? He wants her to agree to his idea of her going for this gorilla. I feel this is a wonderful opportunity. And then he further says that this is a wonderful opportunity. By going for this gorilla, we will be able to do what we have already planned. We have planned to have rare animals, the animals which are endangered, which belong to the endangered species. We want to do that, and so that is why I think it is a wonderful opportunity. It's a great opportunity to go for this. How much? Jackie interrupted briefly, but she was not ready to listen to this explanation, right? This explanation was not welcomed by her, and she interrupted all that convincing speech which the narrator was giving, and she just wanted to know the price, and she again repeated her question, how much? 1,200 pounds. I replied and waited for the storm. And waited for the storm means waited for her violent reaction, right? She must have shouted, screamed, got angry upon her. So that is the storm here. So he uttered the price, 1,200 pounds, and then he stood there waiting for her reaction. 1,200 pounds, 1,200 pounds, you must be mad. So he said, have you lost your senses? Are you mad? From where are we going to afford these 1,200 pounds? Is it 1,200 pounds, you said? You have got an overdraft the size of the national debt. You already have such a huge amount of overdraft. Overdraft means, what is an overdraft? The commerce students. Ishan, tell me what is an overdraft.
Ma'am, overdraft is the amount that banks allow us to, banks allows us to over the amount stored in our account.
Yes. Overdraft is the amount which you can borrow from the bank. Like it is in excess of the amount which you actually have in your bank account. Right? So it's a kind of a loan, you can say. You have to repay with interest to the bank, right? So that is what she says. She says that you have got an overdraft the size of a national debt. The size of a national debt means, it is an exaggeration used here, hyperbole used here, means that you already have such a huge amount of overdraft from the bank. Now you understand why the picture of the bank manager flashed in his mind when he was talking about the price of the gorilla, right? So she said that you have got an overdraft the size of the national debt. The size of the national debt here means that a great amount of money you have already borrowed from the bank, and you go and say you will pay 1,200 pounds for a gorilla, and on top of it you again want to go for a gorilla which is costing 1,200 pounds. So definitely it's for sure that you have lost your senses, you have gone mad. You must be out of your mind. Seems that you have completely lost your mind. Where do you think you are going to find 1,200 pounds? For heaven's sake. So where do you think you are going to get these 1,200 pounds to buy the gorilla? So please give up the idea, for heaven's sake, for God's sake, I'm requesting you, just drop this idea of having a baby gorilla. We already are in a huge debt, which we have to repay. And what do you think the bank manager is going to say when he hears? You must be stark, staring mad. So he says, and when you go and you convey this idea, this wonderful idea which has occurred to your mind of having a baby gorilla, you go to the bank and blurt out this idea in front of the bank manager, what do you think, how will he react? You must be stark, staring mad. Stark, staring mad means absolutely, completely mad. You have gone completely crazy, completely mad to even think of it. Think of getting 1,200 pounds to buy a baby gorilla. I shall get the money from other sources. I said Australia. Australia means, very plainly, very clearly he said that, no, I don't have any intention of going to the bank and borrowing money from the bank. So there won't be any need to see the bank manager. I'm planning to get this money from different sources. Don't you realize that this island is infested with rich people who do nothing all day long but revolve from one cocktail party to another like a set of Japanese Walston mice? Who are these? These are the type of mice, right, which have a genetic characteristic, right, that it is a type of a breed. This was, first of all, this type of mice were found in Japan. So that is why they are referred to as Japanese waltzing mice. Waltz is a type of a dance, right? So Japanese waltzing mice means this particular breed. How does it behave? It is not able to walk straight. They just go round and round and round, like performing a dance, right? So they are not able to move. This is a kind of a genetic defect, you can say, or their genetic characteristic, that they are not able to move in a straight line. And this was first of all, it was observed in Japan. This particular type of mouse were found in Japan for the first time, and so that is why they have been named as Japanese waltzing mice. And so he's comparing the rich people to these type of mice. Says, I shall get the money from other sources. I said austerely, don't you realize? So then he tells his wife that don't you realize, don't you understand that this island is infested? Infested means full of rich people who do nothing all day. These rich people who don't have anything to do except revolving. Revolving means going round and round from one cocktail party to another. They just while away their time. They just waste their time going from one cocktail party to another, revolving from one cocktail party to another. So these people who revolve from one cocktail party to another, they have been compared to this particular breed of mice. It's about time they made a contribution towards animal conservation. So now it's time that they should do some charity and contribute some amount of money to the conservation of animals. I shall ask them to contribute the money. So this was the narrator's idea. This was Mr. Doodle's idea of collecting money for the baby gorilla. This is what he had planned. He didn't want to go to the bank and borrow money. He wanted to collect money from all the rich people living on that island who just while away their time going from one cocktail party to another. Any problem till here? That's an even stupider idea than saying you will have the gorilla in the first sector. So Jackie didn't seem to be impressed with this idea at all, right? She thought it to be an impractical idea, and she said that is even more stupid than having the gorilla. First of all, your first stupid idea was to go for that baby gorilla, which is costing you 12 pounds, and then this idea of borrowing money from all the rich people, not borrowing, actually asking all the rich people on the island to contribute money to do charity for buying that baby gorilla, that is even more stupid idea than going for the baby gorilla. Ignoring my wife's pessimistic and antisocial outlook. Why antisocial outlook? Pessimistic means a person who has a very negative approach, right? The opposite of optimistic is pessimistic. So pessimistic person is someone who doesn't see any good things about a particular subject or about a particular thing, right? That person is more interested in the negative points or the negativity related to a particular topic, right? So ignoring my wife's pessimistic view. So this was the pessimistic view, right? That he gave such a brilliant idea and the wife called it a stupid idea. So that is why the narrator is saying that I ignored my wife's pessimistic and antisocial outlook. Why antisocial? Because she doesn't seem to believe that the people of the island, the rich people of the island, will contribute. So that is why he has called his wife's opinion to be antisocial and pessimistic. I picked up the telephone and asked for a number. Hello, Hope, Jerry here. So he ignored his wife's ideas and his wife's opinion, and he just went straight away to the telephone, dialed a number, and then talked to someone named as Hope. Jerry here means when he told his name. Hello, said Hope resignedly. Resignedly means that not very excited. Right? In a very resigned manner means without any excitement. Right? So Hope didn't seem to be very excited on listening to Jerry's voice, and so in a very resigned manner, in a very hopeless manner, he said, "Hello, what can I do for you? So tell me, how can I help you? Why are you called Hope? I want you to give me a list of all the richest people on the island." So this was definitely a strange thing for Hope, right? So he said that I want you to make a list and give me that list of all the richest people on the island. All the people who are very rich on this island, I want you to give me the list, the names, the numbers of those people. All the richest people, said Hope in bewilderment. Now what are you up to? Right? So this kind of surprised Hope, and she said, now you want the list of all the richest people. Why? What for? Now what is going in your head? In bewilderment. Bewilderment means kind of perplexed, surprised, shocked. So she asked that, now what are you up to? Now what are you up to means, now what are you planning to do? What is your next plan? What will you do with the list of all the rich people on the island? Well, I have just been offered a baby gorilla at a very reasonable price, 1,200 pounds. Only I don't happen to have 1,200 pounds at the moment. He said, I want the list because I've been offered the baby gorilla and the price is very reasonable. The person is just asking for 1,200 pounds. The only problem is that I don't have 1,200 pounds. Rest everything is fine. I want that baby gorilla. The person is ready to offer the baby gorilla. But the problem, there is a slight problem in the story, and that is that I don't have 1,200 pounds at the moment. The rest of my sentence was drowned by Hope's rich laughter. And the moment Hope heard this, she started laughing loudly. So that is why whatever you see, you can see here, there are dots here. So that means that he wanted to utter something more, he wanted to say something more, but because Hope started laughing so loudly, because to her also this whole idea seemed to be ridiculous, impractical, and so she couldn't control her laughter and she started laughing loudly. So the rest of his sentence was drowned in Hope's rich laughter. Rich laughter means, what is the meaning of rich laughter here? Means loud laughter, right? Drowned means nobody heard the rest of the sentence. It was completely lost. It was subdued by the laughter of Hope. So you hope to get the wealthy of the island to buy it for you. Oh, so now this is your plan. That is why you need the list of the rich people, because you want all the rich people of the island to contribute money so that you are able to buy this baby gorilla. She said, chortling. Chortling means when you seem to be very amused and you laugh in a very amused manner, right? You seem to you find something very amusing and you laugh loudly. So that is chortling. Jerry, really you are a dotty. So she found this idea, this whole story very amusing. This plan of Jerry, that is the narrator, very amusing, and she couldn't control her laughter and she again started laughing loudly. Jerry, really you are a dotty. You are a dotty means you have gone crazy. Jerry, if you think that all the rich people of the island are going to give you money to buy a baby gorilla, then you have lost it. You have lost your mind. You don't seem to be in your senses. You've gone completely mad and crazy. But the narrator was very confident of this plan, and so he said, I don't see what's wrong with the idea. I don't think there is anything wrong with the idea. I find it to be perfectly fine. And I have a very strong opinion that this will work. I protested. We protested to whatever Pope said. They should be glad to contribute towards buying such a rare creature. Said that they should be happy that they have been given an opportunity to contribute some money to buy a rare creature like gorilla. After all, if breeding colonies of things like gorillas are established in captivity soon, there won't be any left at all. So, why? Because the narrator felt that if they don't establish breeding colonies of the rare species in captivity, breeding captivity in captivity means the animals are kept in captivity and they are allowed to breed, means to produce offspring, right? In that safe environment, they are allowed to produce their offsprings. What will happen by this? Their numbers will increase. Right? So breeding in captivity is followed for those animals which are endangered species. Okay? So he was of the opinion that if breeding colonies of things like gorilla being the rare species, if we don't set up breeding colonies for animals like gorilla soon, then they will disappear from the planet. There might be a time in future when they will not be found at all on this planet. Surely these people realize this. And here he felt that I'm sure that these rich people, they understand this fact that they need to do something, they need to contribute something towards saving of these rare species so that they are allowed to breed in captivity and their numbers increase. I'm afraid they don't say. But Hope was the another pessimistic person in Jerry's life, and she said that I'm very sorry to say that I don't agree with your opinion. I realize it, you realize it, but I'm afraid the average person either doesn't or couldn't care less. So she said, you understand this fact that it is important that these rare species are allowed to breed in captivity. I understand this fact. I know this fact. I understand this fact. You understand this fact. But I don't think that any average individual will understand it or will even care to think about it. Care to think about the endangered species and the species which are at risk. I think we should stop here and we'll continue further on the next term.